So good afternoon. Today I'm going to talk about how to enhance customer experience through AI. Before we go into the details of how we leverage AI to accomplish our goals, I want to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Deeksha Chugh. I've spent a majority of my career in the marketing space, leveraging data science and machine learning skills to drive business decisions and provide operational efficiency. I'm leading the growth intelligence organization within Square, where I'm responsible for building personalization and recommendations solutions for our sellers across all of the communication channels. Our aim is to integrate intelligence smoothly and seamlessly in our seller experience. Here's my talented team at Square. We have Alex, Kane, Andy, and Urvesh, who are part of my team, and they're all machine learning leaders at Square. So here's the agenda for today. I'm going to share a bit about Square, and then I have two case studies. One is about hyper-personalized messaging, and then the next one is the relevant product recommendations. Lastly, the thing that you probably don't want to miss is valuable lessons learned for leading AI and ML teams. So what is Square and what do we stand for? Square's mission is to drive economic empowerment. We want all businesses in the economy to participate and thrive. We're on a multi-year transformative journey. From our initial value prop of accepting credit cards today to offering tools that help every side of the business. From being a payments plus hardware company to a software plus integrated financial services company. From offering a single product to multiple products. Here you can see all of the Square products that we have available for sellers to run their business smoothly. Square is trying to tame the chaos by integrating everything. There are four main areas highlighted in dark blue color here. First is commerce. Second is customers. Third, staff. And last is banking. The blue colored boxes are the products that Square has, and all of the gray ones out here are the third-party integrations that we have with our partners. We're building amazing first-party products, but we're also integrating with all of the third-party popular tools. I'm going to cover two different case studies, as I shared before, about how we improve customer experience using AI. Now let's dive deeper into our first case study. Let's take an example of one of our big customers, Blue Bottle Coffee. How many of you had Blue Bottle Coffee? Wow, nice. I love Blue Bottle. Blue Bottle Coffee is using multiple products from Square across their 100+ cafes in various locations. The more integrated the seller is with Square, the more we need to communicate to the sellers. And the challenge now becomes, how do we ensure that we send the right message to Blue Bottle Coffee at the right time, and it has the right content to provide them with a superb customer experience? To add to that challenge, there are many types of communication that we need to send to our sellers. This includes cross-sell messages, onboarding messages, product tips, surveys, and we have more than 20 messaging channels: email, in-app, push, SMS, and within in-app, we have a lot of different placements across our various apps and product surfaces. So, to address this challenge, we embarked on a journey last year to build an intelligent messaging framework that determines the best message to send to the seller that contains the right content and at the right time. This was something that yesterday was mentioned in the Albertans presentation as well. So this concept not only applies to Square, but it can be applied to a lot of different industries and a lot of different domains. So how do we build this? We identified the 3 key elements that we need to build the intelligent messaging framework. First one was to build the best content to send model, best time to send model, and then best message to send. Now we'll deep dive into the goals, approaches, and the results of each of these key elements of this framework. We'll start with the best content to send. The goal of this model is to produce the most engaging message in the least amount of time. To accomplish this goal, we're now using generative AI technology along with custom ML models to determine the content of these messages that yields the highest engagement rate. We're still in the process of experimentation, but based on our early result, we're confident that we can drive huge efficiency gains by reducing the campaign creation time from several weeks to now a couple of minutes. Here's a sneak peek into how we've integrated this in our internal product for creating these messages, for enabling this feature for our product marketing managers at Square. As you see here, any marketer can now provide a short description of the kind of campaign that they're trying to run, and 5 email content messages options would be created automatically in a matter of seconds. There's a lot of other planned work that we're trying to do to make this experience even better and more impactful. This is just a start. The next element of this framework is best time to send. By reaching out to the seller when they actually have time to read the message, not only create better experience for them, it also creates value for Square. We built a multi-label classification model to predict the best hour of the day so that we can message at the same time, at that time. When we ran experiment for this model, we saw 84% lift in engagement and 8% reduction in unsubscribe rates. The last but not the least important is understanding which message to send to our sellers. Suppose you have 3 different messages about products or feature that would benefit a given customer or seller in different ways. One option is to send all those messages in a day and fill up their inbox. This can lead to poor customer experience, right? We don't want our junk to be, collected in our inbox. This results in loss of trust, and eventually the customers will stop reading your messages. So the other way that we decided that we want to pursue is determine the most important message that we want to send to our customer. So how do we do that? To achieve this, we built a ranking model that rank all the messages that a seller is eligible in a day, and based on their likelihood of engagement, we determine the best message. As a result of using this model, we see a 24% increase in our engagement rates and improved seller experience as a result. Now, to summarize our first case study, in order to make our product messaging more effective for our sellers, we built an intelligent messaging framework that determines the right message, right time, right content, all at the same time. Using generative AI, creation of new messages takes minutes. And then last is using best time to message and best message to send results in overall increase in engagement rate and unsubscribe rate. Our next case study is related to providing product recommendations to new and existing sellers. As shown earlier, Square has more than 30 plus first-party products, and our products integrate with more than 1,400 plus third-party products. For a seller who just onboarded with Square, it's incredibly challenging for them to know what products can help them grow, what products can help them manage and run their business. When a seller onboards to Square, they're often confused or unaware of the products that can help them and are best suited for them. To address this challenge, we built a deep learning-based recommended product model that provides the top 6 products that are best suited for that particular customer, seller in our case, and we show that through our apps and through our products in our dashboard as well as product store. Some of the considerations that went into building this model was we want that engine to be flexible, scalable, and cost-effective. We want scalable because we want to be able to integrate new products quickly. Square is launching new products almost every quarter or so, and if you're not able to integrate new products, then that becomes a challenge. So whenever a new product gets launched, we want the engine to be able to ingest that new product and predict on that. Second is flexible. At Square, we have a lot of changes that goes on in terms of business metrics. So we want our model to be able to adapt to changing business metrics. Third, cost effectiveness. Who doesn't like saving money? The existing product recommendation model that we had used to take 24 hours to run. So we wanted to reduce that time to train, and now we were taking less than 1 hour to train that model. So here's a sneak peek into our architecture that we use to build this model. At the bottom, you see seller and product features that are curated in our feature stores, and then we built a model on top of it, and then we predicted the probability of the conversion. On the right-hand side, you can see an architecture of this neural network for this particular use case. The categorical input features that are going into this model, we embedded those features, and then we used a batch normalization on the numerical features. We connected both those type of features and passed through a series of fully connected layers and outputted a linear layer with a sigmoid output. That gives us the probability of product conversion and adoption in the next few days of the seller. For this particular use case, we wanted to know what's the metric that we use to measure the effectiveness of the system. I think this is the most important thing when you are trying to build the model. Choosing the right metric determines the success and the failure of the model. So we wanted to choose a metric that had 2 properties. First, whether a seller adopted a product or not. Second, we also wanted to make sure that the order of the products that are displayed is in the order of the likelihood of the seller adopting that product. So the mean average precision metric satisfies both those criteria, and using that, we are now able to optimize our model for this use case. Summarizing our case study, we reduced our computation cost by reducing the runtime of the model, used a custom loss metric, which is flexible with changing business metrics, improved performance of seller experience with 12% increase in product adoption. Last is now, whenever we want to do product feature recommendations as opposed to just product recommendations, we can use the same framework and adapt to that. Before we wrap up, I want to switch gear slightly and share some valuable learnings from my experience about how we've managed to stay lean and provide a lot of value through ML and AI initiatives at Square. It's important for AI teams to focus on continuous improvement of models and modeling infrastructure. We're often very deep into improving the models, but in my opinion, modeling infrastructure is extremely important and probably should be given at least 50% weightage to the models that you're building. If you give importance to both models and modeling infrastructure, you're able to reduce tech debt on your teams, and you can always keep maintenance costs low. When you keep those things, you keep smart people on your team because they can do innovation and they can do net new work. Second, we've invested a lot in centralized feature stores, and feature stores are perfect because they facilitate the discovery, documentation, reuse of features, and you can ensure their correctness by managing just single source of truth. Automated training and retraining would keep your models fresh with new data. The last, keep maintenance costs low through model consolidation wherever possible. Suppose you're building a churn model and you want it to be for 5 different countries. You don't want to build 5 different churn models. You want a single model so that you can keep your maintenance costs low. Some other learnings on the product side is we've started a couple of years back, started to consider AI and ML solutions as data products. It's not just a pipeline anymore. It's an actual product. And it deserves a full machine learning product lifecycle, similar to what we have on the software development side. The last, I cannot emphasize enough how important this is. If you adopt best engineering practices, it's going to create a long-term value for your team and for your company. Focusing on code quality by doing code reviews, modularity testing, all of those are extremely important. Creating model designs prior to jumping into your notebook and creating new models is very important. Last is efficiency. You should always take into consideration how long your pipelines are running. How long is it taking? Are you minimizing the time it takes to run your training pipeline? Are you automating your training? Are you retraining your models or not? All of those things are extremely important. Thank you for your time and attention.